All right, good morning, everyone. You're welcome to our webinar for Netherlands. Today, I have with me our partner agent in Netherlands, Ife who will be taking on the session today. So, I just want to give a couple of minutes. Okay. So, if you can hear me, just comment that is clear. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. All right. I'm hearing an echo back, so I'm not quite sure where it's coming from. Okay, so I think if I can you hear the echo? Because I'm hearing like the what I'm saying is being repeated back to me. I'm not quite
Mm,
sure where it's coming from.
not really. I'm not hearing it from this side. Mm, I can't hear anything. Your voice is actually quite clear.
Okay, let me just ask online. Right click. Just give me a second. All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I was hearing an echo, but I don't think anyone can hear it on there. But we're just going to get started so that we save a bit of time to also allow people to go back to um, watch the recording. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Ife to get started so that we can save time. She's going to be talking to us about studying Netherlands and everything. So, Ife, over to you.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us. Um, Today I'm going to be discussing with you guys about what you need, the documents you need, the amount of money you need, how we assist you with the process and everything to get you to Netherlands from wherever you are located at. We are capable of relocating you to Netherlands via the study visa and also alongside with your family. So I'm not sure if a lot of people know about the Netherlands, but in my own opinion, Netherlands is one of the best countries out there in the world. I really, really love this country. I mean, it's kind of cute in a way. I love the lifestyle. It's not perfect, obviously, but I'd say there are much more good and positive sides than the obvious negative sides. So We work with several universities here, and we've assisted several students over the past year to come to the Netherlands to study. A lot of them have brought their families now. In fact, we currently have people that are in the process of bringing their family this month, in which all their 5 family members, 6 family members, they've all gotten their visas and they are just settling to come in this year. So first of all, I will start with the basic degrees we have in Netherlands, which is the bachelor's degree and the master's degree. Mostly the MBA, but some schools has some other type of master called like the MBM or the MSc masters. So MBA is for people from any background. So you can be from any background at all, as long as you've had 3 years of working experience, you can go for any course on the MBA list. While MBM or MSc means that you need to have a business background, which means you need to have done something like a business administration in school or tourism or something related to any of the courses on the list of FBM. You don't need working experience for that, but you need to have something related to be able to take that course. So let's get started from the beginning, which is the bachelor's degree. The bachelor's degree to study in the Netherlands cost around 13,930 euros for the full package. Now, when I say full package, I mean that there are other things inclusive in the 13,930 euros. So it's not just the school fees alone. We have the tuition fee itself, which is 9,800 euro per year. That is the tuition fee. And then we have things like study materials and hall, which is 600. Then we have the 1 year insurance, which is 680 euros. Then we have the admin cost. There's something called admin cost. It's like the visa fee and some other things like that, which is 650 euros. And then you have your accommodation for the first few weeks, like 10 weeks when you arrive. This is 2,200 euros. So total makes it 13,930 euros. So we've had a lot of clients that ask, oh, must it be package compulsory? Can't I just pay my tuition and then go and then I don't have to pay the other seniors? Trust me, this package is a favor for you. And no, you can't just pick one and not pick the rest. It's called a package fee for a reason. You need to pay everything in the package, and the payment goes directly to the school. So you don't need to have any issues or any process, or if you paying any money to one agent. No, we do not even take tuition fees from our clients. We make sure that all the payment goes directly from their account or any intended account they are meant to use directly to the school account. So that's how it works. But let me give you guys a little rundown explanation on the bachelor degree. So for example, bachelor degree is a period of 3 to 4 years, depending on how quick you are finishing your bachelor's degree. Now the tuition per year on its own is less than 10,000 euros per year, is 9,800 euros per year. But other things that come inclusive with it is what makes it 13,930, and the accommodation as well. It is something you are going to really need for the first few weeks you're here, because you need an address to register, to get your resident permit, bank card, transportation card. Anything you could think of in the Netherlands is done through post. So you need a registered address the first week you arrive. Also, you need this if you are planning to bring your family to the Netherlands.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead, ma.
Yeah. So sorry to quote you. So someone was saying that, can you please take it a bit slower? She said you're a bit too fast.
If it's low,
Really start off
apologies. I tend to talk pretty fast once I get into the whole travel energy. So let's take it slow. So one of the importance of the accommodation, because from our experience, it is also one of the things that people tend to remove more. That they ask, oh, must I go for the accommodation compulsory? Can't I just remove it from my fees? Well, there's an option of that. Do you understand? But it's a bad idea. Trust me. You don't want to remove your accommodation. First of all, you can't get accommodation from outside the Netherlands. It's super hard and crazy unless you already have somebody in the Netherlands that you're going to be staying with as soon as you come. But if you don't know anybody, or you don't trust the people you have here enough to have guarantees that you can stay in your house and register their address, you don't want to make that first mistake on your first time. So it's better for you to just go with the school address, get it registered, and then all your stuffs can come there and you're not at anybody's mercy. You understand? Staying in the school apartment is also a very good way for you to make friends. All the new students are there. They do 1 week orientation in which everybody meets each other. You know your classmates, you meet everybody from all the nationality. It's a whole 1 week package. It's the avenue in which you know everybody. And almost everyone stays in the hostel. So that is how you also have your own friends and all those things. So it's one of the most important thing in the package actually. And for the insurance, it's 1 year. So you really need it actually. It's just like fixed, as you know, health insurance is just there. Nothing special. And then the other package are the library details. Is just all these online access to journals and all those things. They've been paid for by the school. So if you ever need to access it, your lecturer gives you the login details and password. So you don't just start paying for 50 euro to see a particular journal, and that the money you paid right from the beginning of the term, it covers all the access to a lot of databases for any research or any purposes like that. And then the administrative cost, it covers your visa process mainly and some other admin costs, everything that needs to handle the visa process, and also the visa fees and all those things is included in these fees that they pay directly. So that is our bachelor degree. And most importantly, there's been a new rule and update this year in the Netherlands, in which all bachelor students are required to pay their living expenses. Now, this living expenses is for 1 year. I'm not sure if a lot of people are familiar with the German block account system, but it's kind of how the Netherlands living expenses stuff work. So for the Germany process, I don't know, it's one of the most popular block account system out there. So I'm going to use it for as example because a lot of people knows about it. So basically, if you want to school in Germany, it just means that you need to deposit 12,000 euros in the block account that you don't have access to from Nigeria. Then when you get to Germany, you get the money back, apart from every other fees. Now, Netherlands is also doing that system for bachelor students now as well. So you need to make a payment of 12,000 euros to a block account that the school will provide for you separately, apart from your tuition package. Now, when you get here, you get paid back monthly or every 3 months, depending on the agreement you actually have with the school. So you can get the money back like 3,000 at once, or 4,000 at once, or 1,000 euros monthly. Now, the whole point of this is to make sure that the first year you are here, you have a good quality of life. And in the Netherlands, is one of the things that they are proud of the most. That they boast of having the best quality of life, work-life, study balance, and all those kind of things. So it's really a big deal to them, which it from my perspective as well, and from everything I've seen, it's not such a bad idea if someone could afford it, because the 12,000 euros really, really make your life easy, and it makes you less dependent on a lot of things. I mean, in this place, you can work as much as you like and do anything as much as you like, and you can earn as much as you like. But if you're not dependent on those fees, for example, if you've already paid your 12,000 euros and you are getting 1K back monthly, those already cover your major fees like accommodation, rent, groceries, and all those things. And whatever you work for, it goes to your own personal savings and all. It makes you less dependent on work. And it also allows you to focus in school, because there's a lot of reason why a lot of students don't finish graduating. You understand? Because or don't finish school. Schooling and working is not very, very easy. It's actually a lot of hard work. But what makes it harder is the ability to afford it. So if you cannot even afford the next year, or you are stuck in some kind of circle, it makes it very hard for you. And that's why they want that first year living expenses. It relieves a lot of pressure for the first year. So you've already paid your full fees for first year. You've paid all the things that come with it. You have a place to stay for the first few months. You've paid your insurance for 1 year. You've taken care of everything. Your resident permit is already issued for the next 4 years. So all those ones are covered. And then your living expenses for a whole year is covered as well, in which you're getting it monthly. This covers your main rent and groceries and transport and all those kind of things. So in as much as you're allowed to work as much as you like, which I'm going to actually explain that later when I come to the working stage, you understand? You can be making as much as you want. that money can actually go towards savings. I mean, before the first few months, you've earned enough for your next year tuition, and then you start saving for your own personal well-being and health. I mean, there's nothing as sweet as working and seeing the money as saving. It's actually hard paying tuition when you're working. So in that aspect, it's a very good idea, even though it has some uplift, because a lot of people want affordable stuff that they can easily dive into and stuff like that. But Netherlands is not exactly too affordable in that aspect, because the living expenses is a very important aspect of everything. Now, the good thing about it is once you provide the living expenses, you don't need to provide bank statement or anything. So basically, for the visa process, they don't need any visa, they don't need any document from you. The living expenses are supposed to provide in a bank statement, which is 12,000 euros, to show that you have your 1 year living expenses. You've already sent it to the school in advance. So you don't need to bother doing any POF or looking for any bank account or any of those things. It's already eliminates that. So let me move to the master's program as quick as possible, because we have very less time and I can be very talkative, guys. Once I start, I never stop. So to get to that point, for the master's degree, like I've explained previously, there are like two sets of masters. We have the MBA and the MSc or MBM. Now, the MBA is for any background. You could do engineering and still go for international management MBA. You could do nursing and still go for international management MBA. It doesn't really matter. What you just need is at least 3 years working experience to show that you've worked in an actual working experience and you have something more to contribute than just fresh graduates out of college. So now, but for those that are fresh graduate out of college, you don't have any worries as well. A lot of the school take their applications, and those ones are MSc or MBM. So depending on the course you apply for, you might need to have graduated from a relevant background, or depending on the course you apply for, you might not need it. So that one's come with a little bit explanation more. But to explain, the tuition fee for master's degree is 18-month duration, which is inclusive of your coursework and thesis during that period. It can literally extend depending on how quick you are, or if you have any retake or anything else. Oh, the good news is you don't also pay for retake exam, so you just retake them. They don't charge anything extra. You just add it to one of your other classes during a new block or a new semester, and then it just be an extra courses. The full package for master's degree is 22,430 euros. The master's degree is actually the sweetest euro. It sounds like a huge amount of money, but really it is not. And let me tell you why it is not. The 22,430 euros is inclusive of everything I listed first during the bachelor's degree. And most importantly, your tuition fee for the 1.5 years or 2 years you used to graduate. Let's say 2 years because of thesis. Mostly the coursework is a year, actually, a year and maybe a few months. Then you can take your time for thesis. I've known a lot of people that they don't rush their thesis. Thesis means no more going to school, no more classes, but you're doing your research that you want to submit. So that can extend for like 6 months, 8 months on how you want. You can still do other things during this period, but it still covers in your tuition fee or duration of study plan. So this can be 18 months to 2 years, and the tuition is 18,300 euros for the whole program, not just for one thing or anything. For the entire program of your master's degree, your tuition is 18,300 euros. Now, if we had other things, like I explained before, for the bachelor's degree, insurance, accommodation, service, admin cost, and library access, which is 600, 680, 650, and 220 respectively, together is 22,430. Like I explained previously in the bachelor degree, the payment has the same purpose. The accommodation is for the same thing, a place for you to stay as soon as you come, to register your address, get all the documents you need, especially for people bringing their family. It is very important. You understand, for you to have an address to register your family. I'm also going to mention one thing about that later when I'm talking about how the working system works. So, and note, they don't take deposit. It is compulsory for you to pay your full fees Now, when I mean pay your full fees, I don't mean you cannot pay it half. Do you understand? We've had clients that have been paying their money for the past 1 year. You know, they've been paying it bit by bit. One of our clients just finished paying our last 2,200 euros 2 days ago. I'm real proud. So, no, they've taken their time over the years. They know what they want to do. They know how they want to do it. They've gotten the admission. Now, they might not have the full money at once, but they also have a plan towards the payment of the money. And most importantly, they've had at least half of the payment. So I'm saying this because I don't want to misunderstand whereby you don't even have half of your tuition and you just dive in. It's advisable for you to at least have some certain amount of money, or majorly know where you want to get it, so that there won't be the word of, oh, you were deceived by an agent. We are really honest, hardworking agents, right, ma'am? So we don't intend to do that with our clients. Yeah. So we give as good advice as we can, as much as we can, to clients that wants to listen to us. So, but from our experience, I can tell you that we've had clients that have spread their payment over the year, even some more than the year. The 22,000 euro, they've taken their time, and there's no particular order in which you need to pay it. That is a little bit of flexibility that comes in. The only difference is if your tuition is not complete, you will move to the next stage. The next stage being the visa process. So it could take you a year to finish paying your money. You pay 5K this month, you pay 2K next month. I had somebody that paid 300 euro, literally. So you can pay as you want. You can divide it in many installments as you want. But till the last drop of money has entered the school account, you won't be officially moved to the next stage. Do you understand? But you're kind of half sealed in. Any new measures or new whatever that comes up during that period, it won't apply to you. Do you get? Because you are an old student that is already in the payment section. That's another thing I like about them. So they just don't bring up new rules and then turn everybody's lives upside down, especially people that are already into it. You understand? So it doesn't work like that. So that is the thing for master's degree. You need to pay your full fees. Then once you are done with the full fees, you move to the visa process. Now, enough about the bachelors and masters. Let me talk about what a lot of people want to know. How does working works? Do I bring my family and all those things? Is one of our most popular questions. So I'm going to start my explanation from the working part. So in the Netherlands, we have something called freelancing, and then we have something called your regular hours entitled to a student. I know a lot of people are familiar with the UK process, so I'm going to use this as an example. As you all know, in the UK, a student is entitled to work for 20 hours per week, right, ma? Yeah, you're entitled to work for 20 hours per week. Now, in the Netherlands, in that aspect, a student is entitled to work for 16 hours per week. We call it the contract work. That 16 hours per week, it means that you get a contract job or any other type of job that you see, but you can only work 16 hours per week, which is like 2 days per week. Now, there's something else we have called the entrepreneurship or freelancing type of work. This is what everyone does. This simply means that as an entrepreneur, if you register yourself to be an entrepreneur, an individual that has his own process, like we do with CAC in Nigeria, you understand, and you register your whole name, business name registration, then you can work as much as you like. You are considered a freelancer. You understand? Plus a student. So you have the two benefits of working full time and also enjoying your 16 hours as a student. You understand? Basically, the full time already takes the whole joy of everything. So this means that apart from your study, every other time you have, you can do as you want, you can make as you want, and earn as you want, because you are registered as a freelancer, as an entrepreneur. This means that you have your own working time that can be decided by you as the individual and the owner of the business. And this is not very hard to do or anything. The name entrepreneur, registering of your business name, it sounds fancy, but it's actually quite basic. So you don't need to worry about, oh, I might not be able to get it registered. No, it's kind of sure for everybody, and it doesn't even cost much. I think less than 100 euros for you to register, and you can get an appointment to submit your name registration as quick as 1 week after you come. All you have to do is think of a name. Doesn't take time, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They put you in the system, blah, 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 blah. You are done with the KVK. you've collected your invoice or name registration, and boom, you have to pick up jobs as you want as a freelancer. You understand? Now, so people take advantage of the contract job as well. Yeah, the contract job is just 16 hours. Now, any company that wants to employ you based on this contract job, they always do like a work permit for you or something like that, which a lot of people also take advantage of, because this allows you to also work anytime you like according to your schedules. You understand? And there's also some benefit that comes with it. For example, you get a regular wage in your account. This can allow you to build your account for anything you want to do, or any of those things later in the future, depending on the path that each individual wants to take. A lot of people don't. People do it for different reasons. So when you get here and you find out that, oh, this will benefit you more, you can also get that. It doesn't affect you or stop you from doing anything else. Let's just say you get a two-in-one package. You understand? So it works for you either way. If you don't want it, no cool. You are not losing out anything. If you want it, no cool. Your reasons are personal to you. So no problem with that. Aha. So this is it about the working in the Netherlands. Oh, let me just put this out there. A lot of people want to know the minimum wage and all those things. Netherlands pays pretty high. We have a pretty high wages, and the living expenses is also more than average. But trust me, what you earn is more than enough to substitute for whatever living expenses. Even for somebody that have a good lifestyle, that wants to live well, you certainly earn enough to be okay to pay a lot of your bills. And now imagine if you're a bachelor student that have paid your 1 year living expenses before coming. You understand? So it makes things even all the sweeter. And for master students, it's also more easier because they don't have a lot of courses in a week, 2 or 3 times tops, and then you have all the other times and all the other nights and everything to work as much as you like. Now, moving to the next question of bringing your family. Now, for the Netherlands, you cannot bring your family together with you. And a lot of people have asked this why question. Why can't I move together with my family? I want to go together with the family of this. The best answer to that question is, the reason why you cannot move is, in a way, the school is responsible for making sure that you get your visa. That is why Netherlands is one of the best places ever, actually. Because as long as you have the financial capability, then you're not worrying about visa. I mean, a lot of places, you have money, you still worry about visa denial. It's very heartbreaking. But for the Netherlands, your money speaks for you more than anything. Do you understand? And once you pay school their full fees, they are fully invested in making sure that your visa is approved, which it is. We have 100% success rate, and there's no even rejection. Let me put it that way. Why? You're not the bumbo head. It will not reach your turn and change. No, it won't. It's a principled place. It has a system that works, and as long as all those things are done right, then you are on the right track. And trust me, if it's not done right, the school won't submit. They have a checking system of like 3 phases. Is pretty. They have a checking system to make sure that everything aligns and there's no space for error. And even if there's a little error, all you get is an email to correct whatever the issue is, and then within a few days you're attended to. So it doesn't really frustrate people like that the way other places are. So as long as ego, money no be your problem, my brothers and sisters, don't worry. Everything will go smoothly like a joyride, the way you just want it to be. So that being said, but because the school is the primary sponsor for your study visa, they won't sponsor any family member unless they are paying tuition for that family member too. You see why I say your money is important? I've had a couple, husband and wife, that want to travel together, and the guy wants to bring his wife. He paid for both of them. You understand? He paid for both him and his wife, and they came at the same time. You understand? Aha. So, and I've had people that also, obviously, they can't pay for their wife and their kids. They came first and then bring their family after. Now, in these regards, I can assure you with 100% certainty that once you get to the Netherlands, the process of bringing your family is streamless, and it is guaranteed. I've never had a situation or heard of that they reject a family member or anything before. family reunification is very important. The only reason why you're not bringing them together in the first place is because the school will not sponsor your family member. There's nothing you can do about it. It's like an unwritten rule or a general rule here. They will never do that unless you're a PhD student in one of these big schools and you have sponsorship and scholarship and all those things, and the package comes together with your family member. I've had one or two that, outside us, because those are really, really stressful, and the requirement for the scholarship and all those things are top notch. You need to have gone to complicated. But there are also some packages like that allows you. That is because the school is sponsoring both the applicant and the family. Do you understand? So that can work. But for ordinary bachelor's and master's degree, forget it. There's no way around it. Don't even bother asking us to try. They work. Do you understand? They are responsible for the main applicant alone. But that shouldn't stress you out, because trust me, they are even doing you a favor. Do you understand? Once you get here, you need like few months to calibrate yourself to the system. It's a entirely new system here. Do you understand? I've lived abroad in so many places, but when I moved to the Netherlands, I felt like an alien for the first few months. Goodness. Ugh. Everything is so organized. And you have to go and find out how to do everything. I was like a mumu looking for how to find my train. Oh, goodness. So everything is just in a system which you need some time to adjust to. And this is why I come back to talking about the importance of address. Now, if you register your address with the school, even though it's a studio apartment, you can use that address to bring all your family members. Like I said, Netherlands is pretty flexible. They don't really care whether it's a 2-bedroom or a 1-bedroom or 3-bedroom, as long as you have a registered address on your name. You understand? Everyone I know use the school address to bring their family after the first few months, and it never posed a problem. Family of 6, 5, 4, 3, like us, and the number of your family members don't even matter. If you like, have 10. As long as they are immediate family and they are under 18 years of age, you can bring all of them to the Netherlands at once, by the way, as long as flight money take you around too. So once you have an address, you can start the process for your family as fast as 2 weeks of getting here. Now, the sweet thing is, you pick your resident permit within the first few days. It's already sorted before you get here. That's what the orientation week is for. The orientation week is to allow you get everything you need within 1 week. And it actually is, for real. They're not just saying it like that. As soon as you get here, you get an appointment to pick up your resident permit. Once you have your resident permit, you get your appointment to get your BSN. BSN, in the most popular name, is your social security number. Once you have these two things and you open a bank account, finish. You can start the process of bringing your family. Now, to bring your family, depending on the season, it can take 6 weeks to 12 weeks. This is at least a month and a half to 3 months. The tops, it doesn't extend more than 3 months, except maybe they ask you to bring some extra special document. But the tops is always 3 months, actually. You always get your visa within 3 months. And there's nothing special you need to provide as well when it comes to your family. The most important thing is just the bank statement. Depending on the number of people you have in your family, you put the equivalent amount needed for each person in the account. You understand? And you all show marriage certificate and birth certificate. That's all. Every other thing, the main applicant, the husband or the wife already in the Netherlands, provide that, which are just documents to sign and a lot of other things that will already be provided for you that you just need to download. So when it comes to bringing your family, I'd say it's pretty, you don't really have to worry about that, because a lot of people get worried about not being able to bring their family when they get to the Netherlands, and then they lose the opportunity to actually come to the Netherlands, and then bring their family later because they are worried. I'm telling you, like Scout honors, you really don't need to worry about bringing your family. If you make the first few months of a few weeks of sacrifice, come get settled, get the things you need to put in place and submit for your family as soon as you get your BSN number. Within 3 months, 4 months, they're already joining you. And all our clients that came in September resumption, all their families already got their visa since last year. They're even the one delaying because they are still trying to find suitable accommodation and all those things. They all picked their visas already. I'll be having at least 20 family members now from different clients that already got their visa within the space of 3 months, and they are on their way here this month. So the delay is even on their side because they are still trying to get accommodation and this and that, maybe get some things settled before the wives and the kids come in, or before the husbands and the kids come in. So when it comes to bringing a family, just don't worry about it. Focus on your process first, because you, as the main client, you are the most important person in this whole process. So every focus should be on you. Once you get here, the responsibility of a family entirely rests on you, not the school. You don't even need them to do anything for you. All the things you need will be sorted in the first 1 week once you get here. So as soon as you get that sorted, you submit for your family immediately. You don't worry about anything. Within few weeks, you get all their visas approval, and they just go pick their stamp. And trust me, it's just as basic as I'm saying it. You don't need to overcomplicate it or overthink it. So that is my summarization for the whole process. I'm sure I covered everything, but if there
Yeah,
are questions you have, please, we are still here for a few minutes, so we can go through some of these questions together, and we are glad
yeah.
to assist you.
Thank you so much, Ife. So I've got some questions that was posted earlier on the Instagram live. So someone asked the question. It said, what about post-study visa? So is there any way people can actually stay back in Netherlands? But before you actually tackle that, I wanted you to talk on why Netherlands. What's so good about Netherlands? I mean, I've spoken to a couple of persons before, and we've been working together for a couple of years. And I have a couple of friends in Netherlands, and when they say, "Oh my God, I moved here," and it's a game changer for everything. And I do really want to confirm what you did say about Netherlands being extremely organized, especially with the address issue. Like you can't just change address, like most UK students come in and then they will owe school fees, they'll go and stay with uncle, auntie, then jump from one address to another. With Netherlands, you can't. So we're not really looking for people who are not really serious to make that commitment to relocation, and deciding to actually relocate to different countries is a very serious issue, and it
Yeah,
should
it
really
is.
be followed, duly. So I wanted you to talk briefly on why Netherlands. I mean, you're there, so you live in a system. So why should people really come to Netherlands? What's so good about Netherlands? Then you can talk about the post-study visa.
Okay, I feel like you're asking the wrong person, because I'm a super fan of the Netherlands. Like, it can never go wrong in my eyes. Trust me. When we argue, we have these groups in the Netherlands, student groups, school groups, a lot of all these groups. And then we argue on this group, some people still say, oh, Netherlands, I am the full front advocate, not because I'm an agent, but because I've lived in a lot of places before. And
Mm,
trust me, Netherlands is the best place I have lived in. I
mm,
mean, when I check about how the system of the places I've been over the past 10 years has worked, and when we get here, I just feel absolutely lucky. And
mm,
I'm just a super advocate and no funds. I just have love for Netherlands. See, I accept some of the downside, which comes with life naturally. I think there's one statement you said that relocating is a very important issue. And a lot of us Nigeria needs to realize that when you're planning to uproot your entire life from a particular place to one place, it's a big
mm.
deal.
Yeah.
They levitalize relocating in Nigeria. Oh, you just want jackpot, this. But for
Yeah.
me, it's more than that. Especially for people that are not able to move with their family at first, or bringing their family first later. You understand? Living in abroad is not easy. It's hard work. It's also one fact we always tell all our clients. Don't just expect, because it's also a lot of miscommunication in that part. And that's why you see a lot of victims and a lot of people heartbroken by the system they find themselves when you get
True.
abroad. You understand?
True.
You need
Mm.
to face the reality. It's just a place that is more organized than Nigeria, and a place that, when you actually do well, you see the work of your hand, you see what you're making. Unlike Nigeria,
Exactly.
that there's too much corruption and the money is not circulating the way it's supposed to. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
But it
Just
doesn't
to,
change the hard
yeah,
work you need to do when you
yeah.
get there. It's
Mm-hmm.
even more of a harder work, because now you need to get real serious with life. You have bills to
Yes.
pay. There's
Yeah.
nobody looking for any excuse. All your stuffs are automatically deducted monthly. So you make sure that you get everything in those accounts before the time for those
Mm-hmm.
deduction comes. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So when I say why Netherlands, as a advocate, full disclosure, I just love this place. I mean, it's snowing right now. I'm just tired.
Yeah. It's funny where you say that because, like, where I live, I'm in the UK, so I feel quite bad when you're talking about, oh, Netherlands is so great, and I'm not gonna say anything because
You
I
know how
mean,
many times you've argued about this, man? I keep telling
I
you, like,
know,
you keep
I know
putting Netherlands.
because I know, but unfortunately, we have like a very funny system of government in the UK. So, and with all of this changing rules and stuff, every single time you have an election coming up, there's just something with the government
Something
with
new.
immigration, and
Yeah.
that is the issue. But we're not going to talk about the UK today. But just like you said about the getting prepared, most of our students who have actually come into the UK who followed our due advice, we've actually seen majority of them settle
Yeah.
well into good paying jobs. But the ones who have the jackpot mentality, like you said, not having proper preparation in place, they just want to go, they don't, they don't take your counsel about choosing the right course and all of that so that you can properly position yourself. Those ones are the ones who end up having issues because they're
And
not
they
used
don't
to.
get settled. They are because the
Yeah,
priorities are different. They never finish school, they never graduate, and the
yes,
major key is graduating, getting your post study, and getting a fixed job so that you get your
exactly.
PR after. Do you
After,
understand?
yeah,
But they
yeah,
missed the step for all those things. They wasted the first 3 years doing odd jobs and all those things. And when their
yes,
visa is about to expire, I mean, in the Netherlands, they gave you 4 years visa straight, 4.5 for bachelor, almost 5, 7. And they
mm,
waste it on a lot of things. And then when it's about to expire, they start scrambling. And at the end
yeah,
of the day, you still have nothing to show for it because the way money come up for hand there, no be joke. You
uh-uh.
understand? But at least if you are laboring towards something, knowing that the fourth year you get your rewards, and then this moves you to a more higher position. You
Yeah,
understand? And in the
mhm,
Netherlands, trust me, if you graduate, you have a good opportunity to get in a good job. You understand? I think job is one of our less problems in the Netherlands. Okay,
mm.
so back to the question you asked, why the Netherlands? Number one, my people now like work, Abby, and you like to make money. Netherlands, ego day where.
I love how you put it.
And the concept of the freelance, actually allows you to make as much as you want without limit. I know students that work here that make, I don't like talking about how much people make because then it gives people the wrong impression, and that's what they focus on. And then when they
Yes,
come to the Netherlands, they want to match that amount, forgetting
yes,
that their lifestyle is different.
yes.
Do you understand? Their
True.
hustle mentality is also different. The
Different, true.
courses they are doing is different, and the toll being abroad takes on each and everybody
Mm.
is different
It's
as well.
different, yeah.
So
True.
why somebody having the ability to make as much as blah 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 in a month is making, when you get here, your body if you don't just carry on for the first few months. Self. You understand? It's also important for your body to settle in a new environment. When I first got here, it took me 3 months to actually start working when I moved from Turkey. I didn't do anything for the first few months. I was just fledgling. All the people we came with from Nigeria, they started working as soon as possible. They just, if I'm a rich person now, she know the stress. I said, no, be like, the stress I they carry up from Turkey.
Mm,
Do you understand? So I'm
mm,
trying to relax myself. You guys calm down. I just want to get into the system, understand this thing first. Why? I was prepared for those few months actually. So I wasn't in a rush. And do you
mm-hmm.
understand? I started working eventually anyway. I started making money. Smell of money is good. So that's one. Uh-huh. Two, it's pretty safe. Do you understand? Little to no harassment. As you know, Netherlands is one of the freest country in the world. They were the
Mm,
first to legalize a lot of things that normally wouldn't have been legalized. These made it easy for almost everybody to live together. Do you
yeah.
understand? Aha.
Mm,
So there's nowhere that there's no racism, obviously,
mm,
or discrimination or
yeah.
prejudice or
Mm,
whatever, whatever. For
mm,
me, my idea is the basis of the world, is the
mm,
foundation in which everything is set. It's always there. You can't entirely eliminate it. But in the
mm,
Netherlands, it's extremely low.
mm,
Extremely low. I mean, you see black people in position of power almost everywhere you enter. I mean, there's literally nowhere I've not entered that I've not seen a black people in a position of power. Bus
mm,
driver, you meet a black person. any government office, you meet this person there. They always do something where it shows you that when it's that time for you to also get a position, if you work towards it, then nothing is stopping you. I mean,
True.
on our group, we have people working as auditors for bank, people are bank managers for all this bank, people are, when they call the name of the things they do, this profession exists. You
Yeah.
understand? With
Yeah.
good days. Not be
Mhm.
yama 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 say that they pay you peanut. No. I
Mm.
mean, literally people doing well. You understand? It's variety. There's no prejudice against that. That one in particular,
Mm.
working and making money, especially when you're a graduate. If you are aiming for a particular something, I'm saying go for it, sis. Go for it, bro. You're gonna get it. Not because of your skin color or anything, because you have the degrees and the qualification. Do you
Yeah.
understand? That makes you also want to work hard.
Yeah.
It's safe, I say as well. This place is just like, I mean, everybody work night. You understand? This place is just cool. No cases. Do you understand?
Mm.
I don't know how to put it. It's just pretty safe for you as a person and then for your family. Also, in terms of family, there are a lot of benefits that your family get when they come here. I mean, most of the schools are free, and the family details, I won't really go much about it because it's complicated and they have all these Dutch name that I cannot pronounce. But basically, it's just good for families. A lot of some of all these things that you get for your family and all those things, which makes it easier when you're living with your family. What else again? Oh, our weather is not bad as well.
Mhm.
Like it was just about to start snowing, but it stopped. But we always have a cold weather, and Netherlands is kind of wet somehow because it always rains a lot. But rain doesn't stop you from doing anything, even inside rain you're outside, because we don't have strong rains, but it's always drizzling, which makes our weather really cool. Me, I've always liked cold. So, like I said, I'm an advocate. So you guys should just know that at the back of your mind and just say, "Oh, this person just saying only good things." No, it's because Netherlands cannot do wrong in my face. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
so,
I support what you're saying. Like I said, I have a lot of friends there, and everything you said is the same thing that they've said basically. So anyway, moving on to the post-study visa. So how
uh-huh.
one gets
So about post-study visa, everybody gets a year post-study after graduation. Do you
okay.
understand? So, for example, master student, I'm a master student. Even though my course is a year, my resident permit is 2.5 years plus. So I have 1 year even after my course. You know, basically, if you need to extend your thesis and all those things, then after that 1 year, I get an extra 1 year for the post study. And so,
Mm.
so this is the space in which you can test your skills, job employers, and all those things. And
Mhm.
this is the phase. And most people always get a job before graduation anyway. I mean, the school do a lot of all these things alone. They do job fair, they do TED talks with business employee, they do a lot of all these things, especially for graduating students. They have
Mhm.
like they can have like 10 programs within that month just so that people find the right connections you get. So that
Mhm.
people find things that suit them. They help with all those CV and stuff. And not just insane at the mouth. You understand? They actually go through with all this process. Do you get?
Mhm.
Um
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways to apply for a job. You just need to keep applying. But you definitely find I've hardly seen anybody that had an issue with their post study or wasn't able to find something. You understand?
Yeah, and one of the things that you forgot to mention actually, most persons might know, but maybe some others don't know. Netherlands is actually part of the EU member states, so there's also links
Ah,
to all of Europe as well. So
the
every
sweetest
time
deal ever. Oh my
it's yes,
goodness.
ever. So
How
if
could I
you
forget that important fact?
yeah, if you're not getting a job in Netherlands, you have access to all of Europe, and the transportation links are amazing,
It
super amazing. So
is.
you can, and easy and affordable as well. You
That is
don't
one of
get
the major key
expensive.
actually, it skips my mind. Now,
Mm,
you are not just dependent on Netherlands actually. The way the
yeah,
resident permits work, you can get a job anywhere in Europe. I mean, I
anywhere.
know so many people that came into the Netherlands last summer to work from
Mm,
Portugal, from Poland, from
hmm.
Lithuania, all these countries with lower income. They all try to
Yes,
come and take our money during summer and they run back after 3 months, leaving us
yeah.
at the mercy of employee these things. That
Hmm.
part pissed me off. But it also means it could work for you. It will work for you as well. Not could.
Yeah.
work. I mean, I know few people that they went to Australia to for internship, you know, and that is also the benefit about this place. You can literally do anything from here. I mean, they just posted a news on the school this thing a few days ago on the people that went to the USA to do camp counseling. Do you understand? Some went to Australia. I mean, two of them were even returned back. They're actually working in Australia right now. It was huge when the news came out in the school. Some went to Canada for their internship and all those things. Different places. People always go to different places. And guess what? Because you have access to all of Europe, traveling is easy. Since I got here, I've been to like 6 states. Like,
I know you, Yawaka.
it's the
It's
sweetest
all
thing
right.
for me since I came to Netherlands. Just being
Mhm.
able to travel anywhere I want,
Anywhere,
anytime I
right?
decide. Just buy a flight.
Anytime.
Or
Yeah,
if you need to
yeah.
go with a train, it's very
Mm,
easy. Even when you're here,
yes.
almost everyone has a UK visa here because from here to UK
Yes.
is just 6 hours or 7 hours.
I had my friend come over for Thanksgiving. It was just her flight was about I think was it less than 40 minutes.
Yeah,
She came in
it's
from Netherlands straight,
very
and with
close by.
train it's about 3 hours with train, and with
Yeah,
flight it's just about 40 minutes.
it's not that far and
It's
it's not
not.
even expensive, and they
It's
give
not.
everyone visa. Like, you just get visa to anything you want to do. Do you
Yes.
understand? I have so
Yes.
many places I want to go,
All
so
right. If we're going to
that
spend
as
time
well.
talking about it, we'll definitely have more dates coming up for Netherlands webinar so that you can learn more every single time. Because the more we talk about it, the more we're able to cover up on different topic and issues. But I just want to take some questions that have not been covered in the webinar when you started. Yeah. So someone already asked, what's the course duration? You already mentioned it's about 5 years and 4 to 5 years for bachelor's.
No,
But for the
four.
masters, you said four, right? So for the
Yeah,
master's program, you mentioned it's 2 years,
18
isn't it?
months. Yeah,
18
18 months
months.
basically, but you have an opportunity to extend if your thesis takes longer.
Yeah, someone already asked, can dependents join? We've answered that yes, they can join.
Absolutely
And then
guaranteed.
someone asks, how long do I have to wait before bringing my family? You said as soon as you get settled.
As soon as you actually get your resident permit and BSN, which is like 2 weeks
Yes,
stops, you can
yes,
send the application in for your family and you get a response within 3 months.
within
So
3 months. Yeah.
that
All
gives you
right.
a time estimate. Yeah.
Exactly. Then it says, let me to see. Then so can we just say like, okay, for the packages, like a sum amount for like someone who wants to go for a bachelor's, how much should they be looking at?
Yeah.
And someone who wants to go for a master's, how much should they be looking at? Just a sum total.
Bachelor's is 25,000 euros, 25,930 euros for bachelor's. Now, that is inclusive of your entire fee for the whole 1 year and your living expenses for the whole 1 year. So you're not
Okay.
paying anything when you get to the Netherlands for the entire 1 year.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and you get 12,000 euros back from your fee. Don't forget, it's not the school money, it's your money. Uh-huh. Then also, one major key, both bachelor and master students can bring their family. So it's
Wow.
not just, yeah, anybody can bring their family. As long as there's immediate family member and you have the barrier certificate and birth certificate, it doesn't matter how old you are, what degree you are doing. As long as they're a family member and you are in the Netherlands, it's your right to bring them.
That's
Aha.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to ask you, so is there any age limit in terms of like gaps for in terms of like gap?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's major key. For masters, there is no age limit. Mm.
Okay.
There's no age limit for masters. You can bring your family. You can be any age and apply, although it still also depends on our own discretion. Do you
Mm,
understand? Aha.
mm-hmm.
Because we don't both want to waste each other's time. So we'll also check and evaluate your document before we make a formal application. So all our conditions or requirements is still require your age, your working experience, and all those things. If the age you match, if the age you have match your working experience, match your studies, now in this nowadays now it's not just about having degree from 10 years. You need to be updating your degree as regular
Yes,
as
true.
possible with courses,
Yes,
certification,
yes.
one program. You attend one event, always get certificate for any event you attend. You understand? Always have a
Mm-hmm.
certificate of participation and all those things. So it doesn't matter whether you graduated 10 years ago, just have something new to show. You
Yeah,
understand? have
Yeah.
something new to show.
So
Although,
someone was saying, like I said, we'll have more time. So I just wanted to
yeah.
hit on the nail on the head. So someone was asking, so can what's it say? Can someone who has a third class apply for a master's degree? Just yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
The degree doesn't really matter. The position, first,
Now
second,
what class? Yeah, doesn't
nah,
matter.
not really major key. As long
You're right.
as you have the regular this thing and you have money to pay for your full fees, you're good to
Yes.
go.
All right, then someone has asked a question. What about HND? Do they accept HND?
No, in Netherlands, before they do
Mm,
accept course transfer. So if you
mm,
did ND and HND, especially in a business related course, you could get some courses transferred for you. Some
mhm.
schools still accept it, but I cannot put it as an official guarantee for you. You understand?
Yes.
Most
Yeah.
schools they say no, and then they want you to go for bachelor's degree straight. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but though you still submit it to show, because there's a 5 year study gap for bachelor's degree.
Okay.
Oh, that is very important. It skipped my mind. I'm sorry. 5 year
Mm,
study gap for bachelor's degree. So if you're planning to go for bachelor, your WAHEC or ND or HND or whatever result you are using, you can use A level and all those
mhm,
things. Do you understand? They accept
mhm.
almost everything. Just make sure it's within 5 years. Do you
Okay.
get? So we also have schools that take more than 5 years. Do you understand?
Mhm.
So, but for most schools, they set a limit. So just make sure it's within 5 years. If it's still more than 5 years, don't worry, we still got you. Do you
All right.
understand? Yeah,
Yeah.
we still
So
got
one
you.
question here is person's asking just yes or no. Yes or no rather. Does Netherlands require IELTS?
Yes and no. Now, the reason
Okay.
why I say yes and no is because most of the school for Nigerian students they don't need it because they know that we are English native speakers.
Yeah.
Our this thing is English, so it's not exactly compulsory for you. But
Mm,
yes, in the essence that if you're planning to take advantage of any scholarship, you need it.
you
And there are
need
a
it.
lot of scholarship that you could actually get as a student. And this is actually important. And let me put it there, man, before we end up. If you have any background in tech, and you want to do master's degree for women, there's a 5,000 euro scholarship for women
Mm,
with some of our partner schools. So from your 22,430, you get to remove 5,000 euros. So you're paying just like 17,000. Do you
okay.
understand? For the entire process or the package. Do you get? But this
Mm.
is for women alone. Women in tech, they're just trying to encourage more ladies
They need
to
to get
go
into
into
tech.
tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you need to have some background in tech. You can't just come
Mhm,
from anthropology or geology and go and switch to tech and say because you're a woman. No, you gotta have
mhm.
some background. You might not have done that same course in school, but you need a working experience, a real one. We are actually going to screen you to make sure that your working experience is legit. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so sorry to cut you in. So, Ife, sorry. So, next question. Someone was asking, what about the language barrier? Is there any language barrier?
Yay! No language barrier in Netherlands, my people. Where everybody speaks English. Okay, Dutch is pretty hard. Like since I got here, it's been almost a year, and I can only say one word, which is Gutimanga, and it's not even correct, the pronunciation. So
Yeah.
it's really hard, but everyone speaks English. I have never been in a situation where I can't communicate what I need or anything to anybody. Every places you enter, I mean, everything. The first thing they ask you is, do you speak English, Dutch, or French? They won't ask you, do you speak German? Like they have options for
Yes,
everything.
options.
Yeah.
I mean, you did mention that it's a place that is quite welcoming. So you have lots of people from all over the world. So
Yeah,
definitely,
Netherlands is really, really
yeah. So
mixed.
there
I
is
mean,
no
you see
language barrier.
everybody here, so there's no language barrier.
All
Trust me,
right. So
everyone
next
speaks English.
question. Just to make sure that we have majority of the things covered. Obviously, people would like to know, like, if I someone said if I want to get started now, what documents do I need to start getting ready?
For documents, all the basic documents required. Now, for master's degree, you need a recommendation letter, one from the workplace, one from the school. Do you understand? So
Hmm.
you get that, and then your bachelor's degree, certificates, everything fully stamped. You don't need to
Yes.
send it to the school or something. If you had a hard copy, it's good. your international passport, a passport photo, your CV, and then SOP. We have a service for that if you want to take advantage of it. So, and then for bachelor's degree, your WAEC, your international passport, your CV as well, SOP as well,
Yeah.
and yeah,
These are
just
just
basic
basic anyway. But
documents. Yeah,
when they do send an inquiry, they will be able to walk you through, present a document checklist to you to
yeah.
tell you this is what you
So,
need
but based
on
on
the
an
side.
individual cases, we might need to act extra documents. Do you understand?
Yes, of
So,
course.
for example, people that are really over age and they have
Mm,
something to show for it, like I said, those are individual cases and special cases. We can add some things. Do you understand? We don't do
mm-hmm.
fake here or illegal stuff. Everything legit, because this is
Legit,
Dayland.
legit, no fake
You don't want
bachelor's
to get yourself
degree
in
and things
problem.
like
And I
it's
also
okay.
advise don't bring fake document for us. If you get caught, it's on
You're
you.
on your own.
We don't do
Yeah,
fake
you're on your
stuff
own.
here. So
Yeah,
make sure everything you're bringing is real. I cannot confirm anything from anywhere. You
exactly.
understand?
So do they
So
need to, one last question, do they need to get any documents notarized? Like, for all countries, do they need
like extra processes that you need to do all those waiting
yes,
they
yes,
call her post to all those things. Nah.
yes. You don't need to.
Although you need authentication,
Okay.
but the authentication is for your family members when they are coming. You
Yeah,
need to authenticate their birth certificate and your marriage certificate in Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
quite easy to do. If you have people there, you can just send the document to them, they stamp it and send it back to you. But that is for your family member's turn. You understand? You just need to
Yeah.
legalize the document to show that it's original and you're the owner of those kids and stuff, and you're the owner of the wife and husband.
Yeah. So yeah, I like that. I like how you put that because of what we've seen recently, where people are like, "You're married, but you know nothing about your spouse. You know
And you
nothing
know,
about
us Nigerians, we have a way of cutting corners. God, when I see some things, my head want to blow up. Why? That is my question.
why."
What is the
Yeah.
point? If there's a better way. But
We're unique
we
kind
love
of
shortcuts
people,
so much. And
breed.
there's a proverb
Yeah,
that said the shortcut is actually the longest journey. When
it
you
is the
end up on
longest
that
one.
part, you just missed everything. And then if you get
Mm-hmm.
lucky and get it sorted, most people don't. So don't compare your life
No,
and say, somebody did it this way. My brother, when
a
you
lot
get
of
to your
people have
turn,
gotten into trouble because
they'll
of
catch you.
someone did it, I know, and then it flopped.
That somebody
So
did it used to
yeah,
vex me.
yeah. So anyway,
What if
we've
you don't
come
have
to
good
the
luck like
end.
that person?
We've come to the end of this webinar. So we're going to have another session next week based on both our availability. So we'll keep you guys posted. Make sure you're following us on all our platforms, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere on all platforms. And this webinar was actually live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Instagram. So the replay will be online for you to go back there to actually watch it. But we'll have another session again next week with Eva where we'll touch on things that we have not talked about, and then we can take some time out of that session to actually do a little bit of Q&A where we'll answer questions about Netherlands live, and you can actually get your answers straight away. Now, I know the most important part people want to know is, okay, how much will this process cost me in terms of like services? Do you people charge? Yes, we do not work for free. So we have a service charge. So the service charge for this process costs 2,000 euros and is paid in 2 installments. So the first installment you pay when you want to begin your process, we check your documents, make sure everything is all right. And then we apply for your admission, guide you through everything you need to do, send all the documents to the school, you send your proof of fund, you done everything. And then the final balance is paid when you actually have gotten your visa approval. So if you can you speak a little bit on that aspect, please?
Uh, when I was raising my hand before, what I wanted to say was, as a final statement before closing, as you know, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
what I want to say is, this is the advice we always give from our side as people with more experience and agents and knowing how migrating abroad works. This is a very important aspect of your life. Don't trivialize it by japalizing it. You're not just
Mm.
trying to japa. The whole point of moving from Nigeria to a better place is so that you can actually have a better life, especially for those with family. They want to
Yeah.
create a new system for their kids, for their wife, for their husbands. And this is very, very important. So
Yes.
the mindset you have from the beginning of your process determines how your process and your journey actually goes. So I always try to put this at the back of our clients that this is an important aspect of your life. This is an important process of your life. Also, don't just leave everything at the mercy of agents so that you don't get victimized. I don't
Mhm.
like, don't just get victimized on your own aspect as well. Try and read up. That's where you have more questions to ask us. I love questions. Do you understand? Because I know what I'm saying and I have the full confidence and the experience beside what I'm saying. You understand? So I'm always so interested in answering all these questions, letting people know how it is. Now, don't get it wrong. It's not perfect. It's not easy. There are some downsides. You understand? You also need to comb your expectation. But in all honesty, Netherlands is a really good place to live. Seriously, I mean, it's sweet. You have freedom. You make money. You bring your family. You have a lot of benefit and free access. You can travel around as you want. You can easily get visa to go to any places: UK, US, Canada, Australia, South Korea. That's where I want to go next. You know.
Not North Korea.
No, 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 no. I'm going Asia next. I've been to a few places in Europe. Asia is my
Yeah.
next stop now. So when you gather all these things, these are great benefits. There are downsides as well. I mean, abroad is not easy. Work is not easy. School is
Yeah.
not easy. Family is not easy. These are facts. Do you understand? Facts,
Hmm.
literally facts. Do you understand? There are housing crises, this one, that one. But in overall, from my perspective and from my experience and what I've seen, the good outweighs a lot of the disadvantage. It also depends on how you tune your mind. You
Yeah.
understand? So this is a very important aspect. Before our next meeting next week, if you are truly interested in moving to the Netherlands, grab it. You won't regret it. I'm saying it
Yeah.
not just because I'm an agent, but as a person that is also living here, you won't regret it. So take advantage, do your research, ask questions. When we come back next week, we will
Hmm.
answer everything you want, and be
Hmm.
truthful and as honest as possible based on our experience. Now, don't get me wrong. People have had bad experiences. Not everybody have had great experiences. You understand? The way people is moving in is the way people is moving out. You understand? People also have different plans. They use Netherlands as a step up to whatever their
Yeah.
final destination is. It doesn't mean you
Hmm.
will regret it. I've known people that are stuck on particular process for months, years, and they do strong and say, now this place I want. God's will is also important as well. Do you understand? Sometimes you might need to take a little bit detour on your way to whatever that is. So don't be too fixated. Just try to make your research, read around. If you know people in the Netherlands, call them, ask questions. But don't forget, everybody experience is different. And don't try to personalize somebody's experience. What you've not even gone through, you're already letting it get to your head. And meanwhile, God has a totally, entirely different plan for you when you
Yeah.
get. Do you understand? So these are
Hmm.
things you really need to take serious and take in place. Don't just let the goal be about jackpot alone and all those things. School is
Yeah.
important, family is important, work is important, and all
Hmm.
these things leads, all the sacrifices you are making leads to something great at the end of
Hmm.
2 years or 4 years. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That is the
Hmm.
beginning of life. When school remove and you start focusing on work, making big money, working in a corporate environment and all those things, that is the beginning of a step to all the sacrifice you've been making and the hustling you want to do. Now, you
Yeah.
asked me something, we skip my mind, ma.
Yes, I know you were trying to be a minister, but it's all right. It's good. It's
Mm.
a very important foundation to lay.
What,
Thank you very
what was
much
your question
for
again?
that. So we're
It was
talking about
follow.
the service fee. So we pay the 50% upfront, and then the balance is
About the
paid.
approval. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So about the visa approval in Netherlands, like I explained before, the school is your sponsor for the approval. They are your sponsor. So as soon as you submit or you pay your full fees, we resume the visa process straight. It's also one of the things that makes it 100% guarantee. So my motto is, if money is not your problem, Netherlands is the place.
Is the
That's
place.
my
Yes.
that's my slang, yeah. Because
Yeah.
as long as you pay your full fees, they carry the matter on their head, like say tomorrow no day. and make sure it is approved. Not just making sure by going through corner way. No, everything we submit is right and they align with the way it's supposed to be. So
yeah.
it makes your visa a guarantee step. They won't submit the process until everything is done right. If there's a box you did not tick, they are sending it back. Do you get?
Yeah.
If there's a this thing delay, they are sending it back. If your writing not clear, they are sending it back. You can redo something as much as 5 times just to make sure everything
Make
is right.
sure it's
Yeah.
yeah.
At the end of all this process, what you get is an approval. What is this approval? It's a long 3-page letter that they put your V number and a lot of other stuff and wrote that your visa is approved. You just need to pick up the visa for stamp. Now, during the process of picking up the visa, you are not providing anything extra or anything special. There's also no interview or anything. Basic questions when you get to the embassy: what's your name, which school are you going, all those things. Depends on who is interviewing you. Some ask, some don't ask. You understand? But nothing too deep. You're just going for the sticker. You understand? All you're going is taking your passport there. You submit your passport, everything doesn't even take time. 1 hour, 30 minutes, you are done. You've submitted your passport, and then you pick it up with few days with your visa stamp on it. You understand? But this is why a lot of people have asked this question now. Can't I do my visa process separate? No, you can't. Netherlands does not take individual clients. You understand? You need a sponsor, and the school is a sponsor, and we work with the school. So you can't do it on your own. It's impossible. You can't enter a Netherlands embassy and submit application. It doesn't work that way. The first step is the approval. After the approval, then you go get your stamp. That's how Netherlands work. It's also one of the things that makes it guarantee. Do you understand? So that's as much as I can explain about the approval for today. Maybe
Yes.
next week we can go more into it.
More.
If anybody needs more clarification and all. But we've taken
Yes.
much of your time today. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate
Thank you.
the mic back to my mama.
Ife, thank you so much, Ife. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us. If you like to take on to get started, like Ife mentioned rightly, the money is the major thing. So whether you're using a sponsor, family member, a company, the money has to be available in liquid cash. It has to be in your account ready to be transferred over to the school. The good thing, like she mentioned, you are not doing any POA for 6 months, 10 months, 1 year, 3 months, 1 month. It's money as long as it's ready, it's sent, is as valid as it gets there over to the Netherlands. So we'll walk you through all of the process. Like I said, the service fee is 2,000 euros paid in euros at the time of the transaction. Then we can tell you what the rate is. We convert it and sent over so that we can sort everything out for yourself. You can decide to pay all of the service fee at once, or we'll just break it down to just make sure things are a bit easy for you. So once the first installment is paid, it walks through until you get the visa approval. Once you get that email that visa has been approved, the second balance is due. Once you pay the second balance due, then we start walking you through the process of going to whatever designated embassy it is to pick up your passport. And do not forget that the process also continues with you arriving. You have all of that care. I know a lot of people like to call corners and say, don't worry, when I get to this point, I'll not reply them. Don't try to be smart. You really suffer dearly for it, because going to a new destination, you need a lot of support. Even in the UK, we have lots of us who still call us and say, oh, I found myself in a dicey situation. This is 6 months after, 1 year after that. Please, I need help. And we direct them, okay, do this, connect them to an immigration lawyer. So if you think at the end of the day, you call corners and like, I'm just going to do it myself, and then you find yourself in that situation, you call us, nobody's going to respond to you. So as much as you pay for the service, we give you all of our best 100%. There's, you wanting to bring your family, you wanting to settle afterwards. So Ife is right there in there to support you. So, but when you do not pay for the service fee, then nobody's going to give you any support whatsoever. So put all of your mind into it, get your money ready. If you can afford the process, then we get started. So don't forget, tomorrow we have a webinar for Malta, studying Malta. Malta is another wonderful European destination to actually go, which is quite cheap as well. So join me tomorrow at the same time. I think we're going to be starting tomorrow at about 10 o'clock. So, but we have the flyer on our platform, so you can have a look at the flyer, and then we'll come on to talk about Malta. So next week, we'll announce the date. Today, the flyer should be out for the next webinar for Netherlands. So you guys stay connected, follow us on our platforms. If you have any more questions, send an inquiry through our WhatsApp number on our DM. You see the WhatsApp on the Instagram handle. You see the WhatsApp number is there. You can even send a DM straight, and it will come through to our sister. And just to kindly remind everyone that we are no longer having private WhatsApp for all our counselors. All our counselors now use a central WhatsApp number, which is scrolling on the bottom on the screen, as you can see. So do not have any private conversation of our regular platform on this general WhatsApp. Don't let anyone take you off the platform to chat somewhere else. So we're trying to make sure that all conversations are monitored to give you the best quality service. So thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for your love and your support continuously for the Feather brand. We hope to see you next week, and I hope to see you tomorrow. So have a good day. So bye everyone. Thank you so much, Ife.